Discord. I'll be back though if we start losing.
The objective goes live in 10.
Alright guys. Locked in.
Watch here.
Right now I'm not even needed because we're fighting. You know, now I'm coming in. Boom, yeah. Caught that slacking. Boom, you fucking dead, son. Are you trying to live? You can't live. You can't live. You can't live. You can't live. Okay, maybe you could because you're making. Alright, alright, alright. Just how it gonna go. Alright, people, we got it. We got it. We got it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What did I miss?
Diving in. Nothing gets past me.
The enemy team is taking the lead. Disrupted. Clear out.
어림없지.
The enemy's pushing.
Pirate disengaging.
Yo, can somebody hit this motherfucker from behind so the bullets hurt more? God damn, people. I gotta get back on this chat, bro, cause alright. Let's get some strategy going, bro, cause this shit crazy right now. Oh man, you got it. You got the escort. Alright. I'm coming, I'm coming. I'm gonna meet you in the front. I'm gonna meet you in the front.
This ends now.
This how you fucking play this game, baby. This how you fucking play this game. I love it. I love it. I love it. What a nice fucking round that was. Got our shit together. We did it. We tied 1-1. I like it, team. I like it.
The teams are facing off in clash.
Wasn't trying to introduce myself like that, but I like it. I like it. You fought back. You punched back. Dímelo, dímelo. ¿Tú hablas español? Ya soy ticanis. Calá, calá, calá. Portugués, Greek, español, inglés. Ya soy ticanis. Let's go. I want to learn everything. Chinese, Mandarin, fucking French. Definitely learning German. That's how you decipher shit. Oh shit. Over here talking shit. Sí, está bien, está bien.
Los equipos tienen 20 segundos para
Diablo.
prepararse.
¿Y por qué esto está en español, sí? Ese lenguaje tuyo. Ah, Jesus. Excuse me.
¡Vamos a acabarlos!
10 segundos para que se desbloquee el objetivo. El objetivo ya está activo. Lo asegura. El objetivo está en línea.
¡Oh, niños! ¡No lo ves!
My go. Yeah. Papa's home. Papa's home. Papa's home. My turn. Y'all gotta come in. Y'all gotta come in. Somebody gotta come in. Somebody gotta come in. Somebody gotta come. Oh my God. I can't leave me alone.
Todo por un buen.
I gotta bait him to come to me. Once he's in the air, that's when I'm flying over there. Come on. Watch this. Watch this bait. Watch this bait. Watch this bait. Yup. Get in there. Get in there. Yeah.
Aún no cumple con tu deber.
He's dead. He's dead.
¡A despegar!
Oh shit. Maybe not. Fuck. Maybe not. Ya cabrón. Tranquilo. Tranquilo. ¿Qué es eso? God, man. Mira eso, evil. That nigga just want war, bro. He just want smoke.
¡Estoy acabado! ¡Espera! ¡Todavía estoy aquí!
10 segundos para que se desbloquee el objetivo.
¡Enemigo descubierto!
All right, we good, we good, we good, we got it, we got it. They're coming to you now. They got me.
Ahora cumple con tu deber. Estoy humildemente orgulloso.
Oh man, this shit is fucking up, son.
¡Activando secuencia de autodestrucción!
That's how you play around, baby. That's how you play around, baby. That's how you play around, baby. Ya lo cabrón. Estás hecho un monstruo. De verdad. De
Next
verdad
up,
que eres un monstruo.
we're picking up speed with a payload race.
Cabrón. De verdad que eres un monstruo.
Es hora de que los equipos revisen sus jugadas.
esta leche.
Only
Pero
20
sirve.
seconds remain before the action begins.
A ver, persa, a ver si sirve.
Stay close.
Understood.
3, 2, 1. Let's get to it.
Engaging thrusters. Initiating defense matrix.
Dodge this.
And we've taken the first checkpoint.
I just wanna after this game, I wanna check if you have any soccer games coming out as 1 or 11 or whatever time it comes on. So I gotta put a couple bets in, trying to make more money out of the money I already won. But we are streaming until 3 o'clock today. Doing a live stream, testing out the new stuff, the new added things. Thanks to FanDuel, thanks to DraftKings, thanks to the New York Knicks for that 4-1 gentleman sweep. Thank you for the Spurs for that very dramatic, very amazing NBA Finals. We're able to upgrade stuff here. We're able to stream. If you're on YouTube, click the link on the comments. It'll take you to Twitch where
Esta
you can watch.
mamada, cómo me va a alcanzar, güey.
Engaging thrusters.
All right, my man's my man. Okay, he's from Central America or North America. 100%. Yeah, you guys are not. Oh man, but how does he break my shield though? That's what I'm saying. Man, my bad. Oh, this bad, but it's a bad look for me. That's why they banned me. It's right here. I'm going to art, obviously, because we gotta bring this shit up.
This ends now.
Engaging thrusters.
Our team has 30 seconds left.
Welcome to orbit. Aim training. Sie werden dich nicht kriegen. Rally to me.
He's back up. Damn.
Come on, dale, dale, cabrón, dale, dale. Mete presión, mete presión. Dale, dale, dale.
Initiating defense matrix.
Let's build that dome. Let's build that Israel dome. Come on. Yep, just like that. Keep switching sides, bait them, bait them, bait them, bait them, bait them. Just like that, baby. Damn, that's how you win a game. Hey, nice comeback though. They thought they had us. They thought this shit was sweet. Oh yeah, cabrón. Nice comeback. Nice comeback. No pushes for this one. Round. Yay. Alright, I gotta eat something now. While we wait for the next game. Hey, good shit, Poppy.
Let's take a look at this highlight.
Hey, good shit, Poppy. That's you? Is that you? Oh shit. Bye bye. No, stay on, stay on. It's a good team. But I'm starting to get hungry.
No need to thank me.
This is what a man who's has so much time is never making our dreams come true. Creating our reality. Talk about that. This is what I'm currently doing, experiencing. Hitting bets. Like I said, this stream is not sponsored, but it was definitely paid for by FanDuel and DraftKings. If you follow me on Instagram, Kenneth number 5_D, just like it says in the comments, in the chat, you can clearly see that I hit I don't know, maybe 12 bets, baseball, golf, a lot of bets. I hit about 12 yesterday, so today I went and I upgraded more stuff. Got these, not these headphones, but we already been slowly upgrading. But I definitely need a new computer. That is definitely my biggest problem right now. And that's cool. I told the guy I'll be back in 2 weeks, man. So 2 weeks I'm gonna walk into Best Buy and buy this right here. I'm gonna show you because I'm gonna show you how I create my reality. Excuse me, and how I speak shit into existence. Not shit, right? But this is what I'm gonna buy right here. This is what I'm gonna be having streaming with in 2 weeks. I'm telling you guys. And we're gonna turn this. This is why I did this like this, because I wanted to show you how beautiful this is. What I get to experience and what I get to do. That's how we grilled the chicken yesterday before we made chicken penny soup because we didn't have any noodles, but the wifey still enjoyed it. So yeah, we're blessed. Chickens, eggs, fresh vegetables, growing. I'm doing this experiment with 2 apple trees. One is to the left, one is to the right. But it is clear, like copper. It's a big conductor in growth for human. For plants, for plasma energy. Let's call it that. I don't want to say too much too early because I don't want to scare you from the stream. I don't want you to think I'm crazy. But copper is a very good conductor in growing everything. You can literally look outside my house and notice where I dropped pre-1930 copper plates on the ground. I talked about this in my last stream. My wife used to be a waitress a long time ago, over 8 years ago. And she had like these tip jars, and when we were getting married, we finally ran through them and we got all like the money and the dollar bills and stuff. But the coins, we kept them in there. So I just wanted to do an experiment. I started growing plants. My neighbors are witness to all this. My wife, and we have them right here. Look, I'm just gonna show you. This is a cucumber plant. There's actually 2 of them in there. And all my plants, you're gonna find these. You know I'm not lying. These are all dated pre whatever it was, because it took me 2 weeks to do this little project. I'm just showing you what commitment does. Okay, let's just start the match. We have everything: grapes, tomatoes. This is the first time I'm growing potatoes, peppers, hot peppers, cherry tomatoes, cucumbers. We got an apple tree. We're blessed. Did I kill myself? Oh. Okay, so let me see. 3 hitters. Okay, it was meant to be. It was meant to be. Yeah, you see this nigga trying to blitz, and then I caught him on the blitz. Ooh, and I got my baby over here. Oh yeah, you dead. Oh, that's dead. That's dead. Yep, dead. 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 Okay. This is gonna be an easy match. We'll get to know each other on this match. Let's see this no good. Somebody's out here though. Yeah, Tori, you're gone. I said you're gone, bro. What I say? What I say? I said you're gone. Oh, you put it Tori. Oh, bitch. Anyways, I spent the last 2 years researching. I had a simple question. I asked, if you go to biblical terms, it says that people live for thousands of years. Thousands. It says that Abraham, what was it, 90? 90, whatever. He got so scared that he, that's the whole Muslim rivalry thing. It's whatever. Anyways, people live a long time, so I had a lot of time. I had a lot of time in my hand. I promise you, I read over 400 books. I probably read 100 because the most I read was in the county, which was 3 months before I got upstate, right? Which what they sold me on was like, yeah, you're just gonna wait in the county for 2 weeks. So imagine that. Like somebody tells you you're gonna be somewhere for 2 weeks. It takes 2 weeks to order commissary. I didn't. Yeah, I had nothing. That was like a good learning experience because it definitely humbled me. Um, and I got sent to the hole in the county. And we're talking about George W. Hill in Chester County, bless Chester County. They have me on special state parole probation, which, if you didn't know, it's when you commit a crime or get convicted of a crime in a county that you don't live. So the state takes over, right? Now it doesn't become a county issue or, it becomes a state issue. So for a guy who's been legally working his entire life, has made legal money, has W-2s, has worked in a union since 2014, became a journeyman in 2018 after my 4-year apprenticeship. Uh, yeah, they are currently restricting me from working, from leaving the state of Pennsylvania on a daily basis, which is what I used to do, the Commonwealth. I used to commute. Uh, then at the same time, they reject any job that requires me to work over 22 hours. So, in that, I have decided to open up Barber Suite. Well, I'll be Yo, these clippers right here, they're crazy. So, as a side job in the construction, I have a handyman business, right? But this is what I said, like, when you learn, when you see your vision and you work backwards, you know what the pieces that you need. So, when I have a construction company and I have to go to work in a couple of days, um, I don't have to physically be there because my I've been blessed that my work ethic speaks for itself. That what I say, my word is definitely like everybody. I was incarcerated at Cole Township, and there's 1,400 men that will tell you that I am a man of my word. I am a man of my word, and in every aspect of it. One thing nobody could tell you is that yeah, that dude's a liar. He doesn't speak fact. He doesn't stand on what he says. You know, like I said, Cole Township Institution. That's where I was incarcerated. There's 1,400 men who I cut their hair. every day for 2 years could testify that I was a person who stood on what I said, and I played every sport. I wasn't looking for friction. Everybody knew that because I knew I was coming home. I knew my goal, but that was definitely a place where I got to express a side of me that
Three,
was,
two, one.
I never knew I had to a certain point. So what I'm saying is that you can go literally from prison, sitting in a cell, crying in a cell, right? Wishing you were home, and you can cry and cry and be sad. Or, you could cry and you could release those emotions. You could tell yourself, I am, the phrase that I use, and I'm gonna, like I said, I want to talk honestly to you guys. I'm not trying to sell you a character. I'm trying to sell you. I'm not trying to sell you myself at all. I'm just showing you, or building this relationship of this streamer Twitch thing. Um, I say that to say I could have sat in a cell and just cried and been like, life is unfair. I shouldn't be here, which I did for 6 months. I said that every day, and then once I accepted that I was in there, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be in here. I want to play every sport. I'm gonna go to a library. I'm gonna go to the legal library. I'm gonna look up every fucking legal document I could possibly put my hands on. I had my wife doing things, researching things for me from in here, mailing it to me, spending
Area denial.
money because I would ask for it to be express shipped and overnight, and that goes to Florida, and then it gets transferred to the Commonwealth. So uh, and in all that time, I read about 400 books. I researched so many laws, so many Commonwealth law. I understand the difference between the Commonwealth and the state. I understand. Anyways, we don't have to get into all that, but that's what you could also do. That's another option. See, and that's what I want to tell you guys. It's about how you create a reality. So, as a kid, you play video games. This is it, right? I grew up playing video games. I had a Game Boy and all that. Never got into it, but I always, you always fell back to the Call of Duty, the Halo, high school days. The trend, 2000 kids, 90s kids. But once you grew up, once I had my son, bro, that's it. It was all over. I used to be a guitar player. I was trying to be a musician. I used to go to bars and gigs in New York and
Time.
play there. At that time, I was a fucking Hispanic guy playing fucking James Valentine. If you guys don't know who that is, that's actually Maroon's 5 guitarist. And that's what I played. I learned a lot about guitar, copying that guy's song, learning his songs, learning. Like I said yesterday in the stream, in order to break the rules, in order to create your own wave, you have to learn. Learn, baby. We never stop learning. Um, and I learned all James Valentine's tricks, his triads, the way he played the chords, the way he made the guitar sound, the strings he played, the guitar he played, and I learned it. And then, guess what I did? Damn, bro, I'm getting smoked.
Let's
I'm
check the
gonna,
standings.
I'm gonna play Rocket
Zero,
League after
The
this,
enemy's
two.
got a turret.
cause I'm fucking
Some
up the game. I
intense
think.
competition this round. Coming up, get ready for chaos in Clash.
Anyways, learned how to play guitar, mastered it. That was my guy. Then there was Justin Luce. That was my friend's favorite guitarist. He played for Switchfoot, and a
Now's the time for our
guy
teams to
named
work
Marco
out their
Barrientos.
strategies.
He's one of the most powerful humans who has ever existed, and is connected into a realm so beautiful and so romantic that I used to be jealous of, because I couldn't be there. I couldn't see what they saw. I couldn't experience what they experienced. But now that's what I want to show you. Now you can tap into that energy, that universal language. See, and my number has always been 3. And I say this because I said yesterday, true story, you can look it up. Probably do it later. I'm not gonna do it. You guys could do it. Scored 14 goals in a tournament at the Rexplex in Elizabeth, New Jersey, when I was 10 years old, playing for U10, U11, U12. I was number 12. That was my number. But in reality, I was number 3,
Only 20 seconds
right?
remain
Because
before
there's
the
only one
action
number, and there's
begins.
only 1 through 9. There's nothing else. Nothing above, nothing below. That's the code. Those are the rules you have to learn. That's what I'm trying to teach you. So in reality, my number has always been 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. So that's been my number. And every time I see that, like yesterday, I knew, like I said, I put it on my Instagram. It's there. I put it on my highlights. I knew all those guys were going to get 3 shots on the net, right? I knew Messi was going to score a hat trick because that's the first thing he did in his first World Cup. So we betted on that. And we betted big money, and we hit big money. That's why today I got to go to Best Buy and do more upgrades here, right? And I don't haven't even received the money because according to the apps, it takes 3 to 5 days. But I already know that the bets, because I have a train, right? Anyways, I know I went to go buy a cigar today so I can smoke tonight to celebrate. That's how you create this reality. I sat in my bed and I wrote about 1,000 ways in a composition notebook, 300 pages or 500 pages, 300 pages, composition notebook. I wrote 1,000 ways where I can make money my way because I prepared for every single outcome. And this is how I do it in my gambling. I go for the obvious outcome 100 ways when I get out. I'll work back in my union. I'm gonna call Larry, local one, Stone Mason. I'm gonna call Larry and tell him, yo, I need a job, bro. And he's gonna be like, all right, I got you. That didn't work out. Denied. Job denied. Called my own company. Hey, I'm under certain boundaries, bro. I was in jail. That's why I disappeared. I never abandoned the company. I just had to go in. I was just too embarrassed to tell you. Yeah, come work, come work. Or, we work afternoon shifts. Hey, my man, union work is 8 hours and over, 3:30. This has been my shift almost every year, except the summer for 2 months that we switched to the day shift because I've worked in school and government buildings all my entire life as a union guy. Um, 3:30 to 11:45 has been my shift when I met my wife when I first moved to Jersey from Florida, and I showed him my record. I was like, bro, I worked at the Verrazano on that shift, 3 to 11, which we stayed until 3 to 3 in the morning, right? Because COVID happened. So super overtime, the biggest money, most money I've ever made in my fucking life. Can't even dream. We had our dream wedding just to say. But anyways, um, yeah, I could have sat there and complained and wrote and then got out and got denied for my first job. Hey, I got a job offer. Can I go work? Nope. Then I get the second job offer on my old company who I know is going to let me work. And they say, nope, because you have a 10 o'clock curfew and you got to be home at 10 o'clock because these are the rules of the Commonwealth. And this is why I decided to make this stream. I decided to make this because all I want to say is that I just want to work. I want to make money. I want to get back to my union job and lay stones, lay bricks. But the Commonwealth wants Kenneth Diaz at home and not at work. And I think there's something wrong about that. I think there's something very wrong about that. I spent from 2019 to 2022. That's when I got engaged to my wife. I would travel every other weekend to South Florida. I have whatever that app is. My wife knows. She used to go with me. I used to be like, "Hey, you want to go to Miami this weekend?" She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can add you to the ticket list." That's how, you know, I used to move. So going from, because my son lives in Florida, so every other weekend, I already knew I'm going to Florida. And guess what? Who can't go to Florida now? Who's not allowed to go to Florida until 2028? So, like I said, I could teach you how to make money on gambling, because that's a numbers thing. It's easy. I could teach you how to read energy, but the most important thing I'm going to ever teach you is how to create your own reality. And it starts with that, writing it down. Look up Manly P. Hall. And these are the things that when you see the world from one lens, and I'm gonna just you know because I don't want to get too deep into it, but when you see the world as one religion, one thing, you blind yourself from the knowledge of the world, of the universe, the codes of the universe works in codes, and I'm learning how to decipher it, how to read, and the problem is this, right? I'm gonna look up an experiment right now on YouTube, on my phone actually, and this is the problem. And yesterday we did it live. We called 3 goals live yesterday. Just like I told this dude, this is gonna be I'm 2 weeks. I'm going into Best Buys and I'm buying this. I'm telling you right now. That means that one of my tickets is gonna hit where I'm gonna be able. I already promised my wife a ring, right? The baby shower's money is already there. I already won. It's already established. She gave me, my wife gave me a go. We already hit that target. Baby shower. Done. Now, I was like, what else do you want? She said she wants a ring. Alright, so I gotta get a ring before I could get any of this. But I'm thinking ATV. I'm thinking new gaming computer setup. I might even get a fucking Jeep or a truck but this is what I'm saying. This stuff is easy, right? This is the easy part of manifesting. The sad part is like everything else is a dopamine effect. Once once you get it, at least to me, it becomes boring. And this is why I decided to challenge myself and not go completely. See, I was doing NFL. I came out of jail and I went nuts on
It's
NFL.
time for
And
Save
I
the
forgot.
World. First up,
There's other information that I didn't have
dinosaurs.
available to me in there. But I got to the NBA and I said, yeah, I can see this
Now
script.
that's
I
a
can see what's
good
unfolding here.
isn't
Just
it?
watch ESPN. I don't even watch sport. I just got ESPN. I just paid for ESPN through DraftKings or something because they gave it to me for free. Now they're sending me VIP emails. They want to fly me out to, all this and that, right? Which I can't even fly out, right? So it doesn't, like I said, that is a dopamine effect. It brings false happiness because I can't fly, even if I wanted to. I would not, it wouldn't make sense. I wouldn't go
Who's ready
gamble,
to get this game
on a trip. I
started?
would save a trip. I would
First
save
up,
one of my passes, and I am allowed a couple
here's
passes
our
a year. I would
team
save one of my
from
passes to go to the beach with my
Australia.
wife and my kids. So I would not go to a casino and gamble, no matter if they offer me,
Welcome to the
let's
island.
say, they
It's
said we'll
time for
give
the
you a
team
hundred
to
thousand on the
examine their
house,
playbooks.
and everything you lose after that, let's say they say that. Let's say a casino offered me that on the email and said that. We're like, yo, we'll give you a money line, a credit line. Um, you know, let's say that happened. That is a false dopamine. Yesterday, while we were watching the Austria versus Jordania game, you guys saw it. They scored the first goal, the second goal, second goal. Remember, it was 1-1. And I said, I'm not putting energy into that. I know how this works. I said it. I was live streaming it. You guys can go back a couple videos ago. This is last night during the game. I'm literally calling the shot time, the clock time here in my house. I'm calling the game time, live streaming it. And I said, I'm not putting energy, right? This is what I'm trying to teach you. This is what I'm trying to teach you guys to tap into, right? Because I did this from a fucking cell and I could feel energy that wasn't in my cell. I had to ignore the energy that was in my cell, right? And I had to tap into a different energy. And this is what I'm trying to teach you, right? So we called that.
Peace be
I could have
upon
got
you.
upset because they overturned it. I knew it. The
Today,
World Cup has been a little bit iffy with two things. With corner kicks, I'm saying it live on the stream because this has to have an effect, right? And I'm going to show you the experiment now after this match. I don't know why the fuck I started this match. It's called the light experiment, right? It's quantum physics. It's the most basic rule of quantum physics is that if you shine a light through a hole, right, the atoms are supposed to theoretically move this exact same thing. But the experiment proves the double what Healy experiment, whatever. I don't remember what the name of it, right? I only care about the stats. it proved that once the atom new is being viewed, you change it. You understand? But here's the secret. This is what I'm trying to tell you through quantum physics fucking knowledge. This is coming from a guy who couldn't graduate high school. I mean, college. I did graduate high school. I was an all American athlete, all American my entire life. Um, I couldn't do well. I had a baby too. I could have. I was in college, but I had a son, and I decided to just work and give my son a good life. And it worked out for the most part, right? But now we're here. Now I'm teaching you about quantum physics on fucking Twitch, YouTube, and I'm teaching you at the same time how to build and create your reality. So, fuck, I lost my train of thought now. Hold on, let me smoke this bitch and we'll get back to it. Hold on, let me smoke. Oh! Alright, alright, alright. So, the experiment goes that theoretically, right? Theoretically, if I turn the burner on 5, the burner should be the exact same heat. I would say 98.99% of the time. If you have an electric stove, if you have a gas stove, it should be at 100% every single time. You understand? It doesn't change. It shouldn't change. There's nothing change. And this is why I am rewriting history. I'm rewriting everything, right? Science is fake. Medicine is fake. They've been sold out by, to the snake. We'll just call it the snake, right? And we're related to the Bible and the Garden of Eden, the snake. It's been sold. All that are science. So I go by alchemy. Alchemy. The rule of alchemy is that you cannot get something for nothing. It's impossible. You cannot just create out of nothing. Only God, the creator, has the ability. He is the creator, the great I am. You know, in the beginning was the verb, and the verb was God, and the verb was with God. Because he was a verb, he was I am. The way God was created is that out of the void, he spoke and said, I am. And when he said I am, he became the creator and thus creating. This is, like I'm saying, 400 books in, right? Not one point of view. I'm talking about all points of view, right?
I am ready to unleash coalescence.
The experiment is that if I'm shooting the gun here, the bullet should theoretically go the same every single time. If I don't change direction, if I don't change wind, if I don't change speed, if I don't change pressure, it should go the same way. It does not. That's the double helix experiment. It does not. As you look at the particles, at the atom particles, you make them change. See, this is the trick. I've been trying to explain it for 3 streams now. The outcome, your goal. What is your goal? What is your goal? I want to be a barber. I want a barber shop. That's the goal. That's the light atom particle landing on the wall, right? That's the goal. You know it's going to get there, right? Here's the secret. Now you work backwards. Everything else does not matter. Everything else is a waste of energy. And yes, life itself, the journey is, the present. That's the, us living life is the gift of life, right? But I'm talking about now in another dimension, beyond the physical. Now I'm talking into your consciousness, right? Because I am the conscious barber, I am the conscious mason, I am the conscious gardener, the conscious father, the conscious gamer, the conscious. That's what I want to bring into this world. It's consciousness. That's it. That's it. Everything else will follow suit, right? But your goal is this. Is the goal is the atom particle hitting the wall. The light particle hitting the wall is the goal. You know that's the outcome. Whether it goes left, whether it goes right, whether it veers north, whether it veers south, who gives a energy? That's how we're going to say it. Who gives an energy? The outcome will be the same. Whether you struggle at first and you catch high speed, right? And that's the problem with you people, is that technology, I guess, or whatever. And I've been too busy working. I'm going to be honest. Like, I hate my phone. I hate my car. I hate that I know that my car has so much computer. I hate that. I hate knowing that my 2021 Honda Civic, right? has more technology than the spaceship that was sent to a fucking moon in 1969 by NASA. That scares me. You know why it scares me? Because my car can't fucking fly yet. And it can't land. And it doesn't have, so it scares me that somehow my 2021 Honda Civic has more technology than the NASA spaceship that went to the moon in 1969, and yet my car cannot fly. So where is that technology at? Okay, it's not in the engineering part, right? Because the car is still two axles, four wheels, a steering, and we went from a chain pulley to a belt now, and for the economy. But now, guess what? Now, guess what? We got AI. Who's talking about the economy now? Who's talking about global warming now? Huh? Not not corporations, not the government. They're not. So, anyways, like I said, that's energy. I could waste my energy bitching and complaining, but my target is hitting that fucking particle on that fucking wall. And guess what? They got it. They got me. They got me now. Because now I know. Now I know that I didn't know shit. And I have my beautiful grandfather, rest in peace, who was murdered by fucking COVID. Murdered, my grandfather. Murdered, who was living a beautiful, retired fucking life in Nicaragua. Came to America, got jammed the fuck up, had to get amputated, choked to death, was blamed on fucking COVID, and was cremated by the hospital without family's consent or permission. Without my grand. But you know what they said? You know what they said? Okay, sue us. It's what they said. That's literally, I was with my grandmother when my grandfather died. Alejandro Rodriguez, Puerto Rican motherfucker out of Jersey City. My uncle. And this is the thing that he said at the end of his life when I got to meet him, right? This is what he said. The only thing I know is that I don't know nothing. He used to move like an Italian, but I could have sworn he was Italian, but he was Puerto Rican. He was just like one of those light-skinned Puerto Rican, slick back hair, pot like Italian. Like when you see Robert De Niro, that was my Puerto Rican grandfather. Except he was a poppy. He was Puerto Rican, you know. But the calves, those legs were crazy. Anyways, that's what he said. He said, and he would always go like this to me. And then, he did one of the craziest moves that we're gonna get to know each other. And I'm gonna tell you stories about him because I loved him. I used to hate him as a kid, and I ended up, reconnecting with him on our older stage. I was a different man, and I ended up respecting him a lot. He did a lot for my family that, things that he didn't need to, he stuck around. And, in the end, this is what he told me. All I know is that I don't know nothing. And he used to do this to me. When my grandma used to be on his ass, my grandfather, I'm going to tell you a secret. My grandfather died with people thinking that he was mute for 3 years. 91 years old. This man came out with a scheme. I'm not going to talk. And nobody's ever going to bother me again. And he would just go, But guess what? When his grandson came and would walk him, and we would go to East Boulevard to Union City, my man would open up. I miss Colombia. I miss Nicaragua. He got stuck here. Remember this. His goal was to die in Nicaragua because to him, that is the land that gave him his freedom, right? A man who worked his ass off here was able to, he did it at the right time. Was able to retire, invest, buy land over there, have, everything you could desire. And he, unfortunately, in his last year, 2 years, he wasn't the free man. He went from living in the beautiful forest and jungle to being trapped in a building. No yard, no chickens, no fresh eggs, so it was sad. It was sad. It was sad. I feel very sad for my grandma. I feel very sad for the way my grandfather went. But he was murdered by COVID. They cremated him. Uh, Yeah, it was just bad. It was just all bad, you know. But that's what I'm saying. So when you go back, we know that everything is fake. Science, medicine, right? Everything is not the way they're saying us. What they're telling us. And then you look back on the biblical term, and this is how I started with. I look back and I said, who, what, at what point in time did the people live the oldest? Right? Did the people got to live out the longest years, whatever, thousands of years? And you pretty much biblical times, right? So around 6,000 years ago, if you go by the Abriatic clock. Oh my God, we got smoke, bro. Oh, I'm gonna play 2K. Um, so hold on, let me change this game, bro. This is not working out for me.